Anyways, it's just exactly what we called. Did you catch this, Phoenix?
I did, and I even made a video because some idiot uh, just made a comment. And I said, a lot of people don't understand that maybe this was a drawing in people with ASD on the autism spectrum. They have to focus on something so they don't have to focus on something else. It's like a tick. And he had this so that he could focus. And do you know what the meaning for autistic kids is on this picture? That heart is to focus on love, acceptance. And I was really pissed off when someone said something. Why does he have a black heart? Oh, he has a black heart. No, if you understood autism at a deeper level, you'd understand that he needed something of comfort on that table.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I I thought it kind of looked like a section of a coloring book, and the camera was just so low quality that you didn't pick up the other lines not colored in. I don't know. But I'm sure that it's probably a very long day sitting and waiting in the cell. The only thing that I did think was a little bit odd is that he would bring it in the courtroom. You know what I mean? Like, so to your point, I get that. But isn't that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like they, at least we haven't seen anything like that yet. And I feel like somebody would have gotten a picture of it before now.
Well, and this is something that I didn't see today that I've seen in the past is Anne always had a laptop open and he would occasionally glance at it. So I'm wondering if she had something on her laptop prior that he could focus on
Or she was
because
typing to him instead of talking if
maybe,
she needed to say something.
but I really never saw her typing. So I think there might have been some type of visual stimulation for him to focus on instead of getting so overwhelmed because I don't know if you know this, sitting in a courtroom with that many people and many people moving and all the it could be very stimulating and he may have been overstimulated. That little picture right there gave him the ability to stay grounded, stay focused.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Um, so this one, I emailed the person back and I said I wouldn't say who sent me this, just because it was so close to the stream and I couldn't confirm it, so I left their name off it. But they sent me this. They said I figured I would pass this along. I've received a heads up from someone close to Brian's defense team that once the state's little sentencing theater hearing is over, appeal will be swiftly filed. I trust the source. Brian's defense is onboarding some new attorneys and will file immediate relief under the Idaho Post Conviction Procedure Act 194901. That's going to be the play. It will be on the grounds of plea under duress, prosecutorial misconduct, ineffective assistance of counsel. I'm not the only Idaho 4 creator who got this tip. Pob made a video, and I've talked to other creators. They all know this source better than I do, so take it as hearsay for now, but that's what I was told today.
Well, I you have to go through the process. You have to go through the court process. You have to go through the court documents. Now, Hippler has already put on the docket the disposition, so they can move forward whenever they're ready. It's in the court document. It's in the case summary. I'm glad you already checked and pulled it up. There is an exhibit list log. There is a judgment of conviction of order of confinement, of commitment, the court minutes. Hippler's done everything he can to sign off and get this off his desk.
Can I make a prediction here? And I believe that I don't think that Brian Koberger, if he is in jail, because I also think there was some other stuff which we'll get into that made me question the legitimacy of the situation, which is nothing new for me. That's what I always do. But I don't think that they're going to move quick on this. I think they're going to give this as much time to just simmer into people's heads that this was the story, this is what happened. And I will guarantee you that unless Brian Koberger gets out of jail, I will bet that the mainstream media will not touch this. They will
Oh,
not.
absolutely. Absolutely. They got 45 days to file an appeal, post conviction relief, whatever they're going to file. And I don't think the media will ever say anything again unless, of course, something massive, major happens, because of the fact they don't want everyone to know. They want to drop it like a hot potato and move on.
Yeah. And I just saw somebody say, I think these 4 babies are gone. Oh, I
Yeah,
I think that 2 are for sure. 3. But I question, and I don't even want to sound like that guy. But here's the thing. If they are gone, what I'm trying to also say is there was a motive.
mhm, there was.
Four people do not get killed for no motive, everybody. And I was watching a video. Shit. I'm sorry to whoever this person is that made this video. I can't remember the screen name. They had said, if you think about it, look at the rooms that the victims were found in.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie's and Xana's. Who has the parents that if you were going to leave a message, you would put them in those rooms? And that's another little thing that I'm like, holy shit, that makes a ton of sense. And
Mm-hmm.
so would they say Kaylee and Maddie were in the same bed together if the crime scene was staged and they knew that that wasn't the case and they knew that they were staged into those rooms to send that message? I can see that happening. I actually
Absolutely.
would argue that that's a very reasonable thing to shield from an investigative standpoint. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. They were sending a message.
Phoenix,
And
are you
even,
hanging in there? You sound I haven't heard you like
you know,
this.
I'm just so, it's like a gut punch. I told you. I cannot believe it, as an officer of the court, as a judge, as a ex-military, as law enforcement, you take an oath to defend the United States Constitution. That oath is for life. It's not just, well, you serve your time in that position or you serve your time in the military. Lawyers have to take the same oath, and that is to protect and defend the Constitution. And I feel like they did not do this. Not one of them stood up and said or questioned the narrative.
Yeah. And just I totally agree, Phoenix. And I just saw Sherlock before it gets too far down. I was just trying to say that if Maddie's if one of the parents of the victims of Maddie or Xana had cooperated, right? It would make sense that the if you think about it, because Ethan and Xana were found in Xana's room, Maddie and Kaylee were found in Maddie's room. If it was something to do with those two parents, it would make sense that even if they weren't killed in those rooms and the rumors of the crime scene being staged, it would make sense why the dead bodies would be moved into those rooms.
Absolutely, because, I was reading the police reports. Murphy was in Kaylee's room. Okay,
Yeah.
so even if Kaylee, hypothetically, even if Kaylee got up to go check on Maddie, Kaylee was the worst off of this. Well, actually, I don't know because I haven't got that far in the police reports. So Kaylee was unrecognizable, guys, per the reports. Unrecognizable. And then
So
obviously two different stories from Dylan and Bethany because their statements are in there in the police reports. And so I'm thinking they heard everything.
the one thing that again, I'm not hesitant to say this because I'm worried about someone thinking that I'm being disrespectful. You guys know that I'm not trying to be, nor is that ever my intent. But I just cannot wrap my head around Kaylee's family's reaction today. And I can't forget how their statements sounded and how
And
different it was.
you cannot tell me they did not attend a hearing. They did not read any documents. They have not watched any videos. You cannot tell me that they know the truth.
I, either they're playing chess I do believe that Olivia, and I have that queued up. I believe Olivia's questions were all questions that were intentionally asked, but those questions are no longer the focus of the statement. Everybody,
Correct.
you're talking about Big D's, Kaylee kicking someone's. It's just then. See, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a double-edged sword for somebody with a brain like myself, and I'm sure some of you in here. And it's like, where the hell if you didn't attack them in their sleep like a pedophile, she would have kicked your ass? What?
Yeah, that threw me. That really threw me, because when you start digging into the reports, you're going to see a lot more. This did not happen in 7 minutes, guys. And then when she said 2 weapons.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the second weapon? So it's like, that is the part where, like, that should be the focus. If you were to think about it from a effectiveness standpoint in finding the truth, getting up there, calling him a coward, telling him he's a bad student, telling him that he's a nobody, telling him that he's a loser, a weirdo, 15 minutes of fame. Instead, the questions had such an opportunity for about a millisecond to be what people would have to talk about. And it quickly fell underneath the attention the other statements got.
Well, here's something else that I started reading these reports, and I'm thinking to myself, why in the frickety frick, believe me, I was on fire. I had a sailor mouth. I was in the Navy, and 30 years practicing no cursing and doing really well until today.
Yeah.
So I just want to preface that the police reports, one report specifically, said that there was a size 13 to 12 to 13, was it 13 to 14? Oh God, see, 12 to 13 size footprint in the snow leading somewhere. And I thought to myself, did it snow that night? So of course I'm looking and seeing, what the weather reports say and this and that. And it's not likely it snowed. So where did they get the snow from?
I have no idea. No, I thought it was the visual snow she referenced.
No, I'm talking about the footprints that they found outside the house.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. So
Well, I know it was like under 30 degrees.
and I looked everywhere, and it said it's most likely not, that there was no snowfall on November 12th, 2022 or 13. So, I mean, there is some discrepancy unless you were there, that you knew for sure. And that's my point. Unless we were there and we knew for sure, this is still all hearsay.
It is. And I'm going to get through the next couple slides, and then I want to get to some video clips. But Hive, we called it here first. And Palantir stock at one point was almost up 5.3%. By the time I screenshot it, it was only up almost 4%. And we're talking about a $5-6 increase pre-sentence, post-sentence. Maybe it's something, maybe it's not, but I'm not surprised.
No, it was going up and up and up the whole day.
Yes. And if you look at it the day before, it was low. This is a conspiracy that I have, that if you work for, thank you, Heather, I appreciate that. And then I also saw Moto Man again. BK said like 3 words. I respectfully decline. However many words that is. Now I have a little conspiracy about corporate America. I've noticed that when you like if you're investing in a 401k and you put enough in to get the match, I've always noticed that the month that you're going to get the match, across the board, all of these corporations, these big corporations, their stock price is the highest it's been for that year. It's always at a yearly high when they match. because that's less profit than that they're paying out from their shareholders. So they'll give you the match at the highest stock price. Isn't that a little bit odd? I've worked at this place for 8 years. It's happened 7 of them.
Wow.
So, anyways, that's one of those things. I always like to look at that app on my phone, like when I'm bored or whatever. So, this is also interesting. This is an article from the Motley Fool on Palantir. I'll read this quick. The first thing that jumps out about Palantir is that the company's accelerating momentum at scale. Last quarter, its revenue grew 39% year over year to $884 million, driven by strong domestic sales. U.S. revenue was up 55%, while U.S. commercial revenue coming from the private sector, that growth accelerated 71% year over year. At the same time, Palantir is expanding its profitability. Operating margin was 20% last quarter, 13% over the last 12 months. With strong gross margins, Palantir has a clear path to keep expanding its profit margins as the business scales. Now, this bottom paragraph is what I want everyone to pay attention to. Forward indicators look bright for Palantir as well. Just in the first quarter, it closed 139 deals with customers worth over $1 million. Plus an additional 31 deals worth at least $10 million. As the AI operating system for large enterprises, Palantir is proving its worth and seeing huge spending from these customers. The last sentence of this part is the U.S. Department of Defense alone has contracts worth over $1 billion with Palantir, with room to expand over time. And if you all remember the analogy that I gave between $1 million and $1 billion, I converted it to time. So 1 million seconds is 11 days. 1 billion seconds is almost 32 years.
Yeah.
Years. You go from 11 days to 32 years. That's how big the difference between a million and a billion is. And thank you so much, Ansi. I appreciate that. Okay. So
just the slide I love.
Yeah, exactly. I had to change up the background for this. Now, this is you guys we can pick as a hive. I have Bill Thompson's or I have Olivia's. Which one would you guys do first? Type of 1 if you want Olivia's, type of 2 if you want Bill Thompson's. Either one's fine with me.
I say 1. Look at all the ones.
Yeah, there's ones. Ding, ding, ding. There's a few 2s. Teresa says neither. Or that's a great idea. That's a good idea. Avi, I hope I'm saying that right. Finkelstein. Or we could watch the Q&A with Ellie. I haven't seen that yet. The one that you were talking about.
Oh, the
is it
live
worth
press?
Watching, or is it? Would you say that this? I kind of want to hear what Olivia says again. Where now it's after the fact. You know what I'm saying? So we'll do this one.
Your Honor, next would be members from the Kaylee Gonsalves family. First will be her father, Steve Gonsalves.
And this is what I want to do in the hive. If there's something that you pick up on that is said a little bit off, or it's weird, or it doesn't sound right, whether it's maybe an honest Freudian slip or it's somebody misspeaking, still point it out in the chat. It could be something. It could be nothing. But like when Steve G said, "Yep, you're going to go back to Penn," like the Penn.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's one in my head. See, I can't let that go.
Well, here, I went down this rabbit hole last night over the prison that they're talking about him going to, the maximum security, and it's so bad, and it's this and that. They actually have a ward for mental patients, okay? There is an area which the state has already tested him to where he can go to, and it's not going to be as bad. But there is only one other facility in the USA that has something like this, and guess where that is? Pennsylvania.
See, Phoenix, and that's like what's so hard to wrap my head around. I don't even believe that I am so convinced that this is some sort of WITSEC PSYOP cover-up. It's hard for me to wrap my head around. Does this dude look like he's going to jail today for her life? He didn't crack a smile. He barely blinked. Somebody was pointing out too, like the faces just look a little off. And I know that this is a low res thing. I'm sorry. This is me. I'm obviously not sitting there having somebody talk shit as I'm about to spend the rest of my life in prison. I want everybody to be honest with yourself. If you're sitting there and out of left field, somebody goes, there's big D's waiting for you in prison. This is messed up, but I would fight a little bit of a smirk. Like, what did she just say? It would have gotten a reaction, I think, out of a lot of people sitting there. There was nothing.
I know it was low resolution, but it looked like they had a face filter on him.
That's why I wanted to play this video.
I zoomed in. I got a video. I said, look at the AI. He doesn't move. Eyes are weird. It looks like a filter.
Yes. And that's why I'm going to, before I go, I want to play this now. I'm going to try this again. Hopefully this loads. Yes. Okay. Look at his eyes.
Quick message from our youngest daughter. Aubrey wanted to say, you made A's in high school and college, but you're going to be getting big D's in prison.
That right there. Right there.
Yep.
Right here.
Thank you.
This is, I noticed this right away.
Thank you.
But his
They're
mouth,
clapping.
His mouth. Watch his mouth and his eyes. Those are the two things. It's like there was a filter on top.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this.
And this is why they didn't allow any other video cameras in the courtroom. They had to have had a filter on his face.
He's supposed to be blinking right here.
Yeah. Is there any way we can put that in chat and see if it was some type of filter
Maybe.
AI?
I don't know. Let's just see.
I just figured we could try.
Yeah.
I saw the glitching. I saw it's just like a filter. Like if I put a filter on TikTok that has lashes and I put my hand in front of it, you can't see it. And that was exactly what I saw. Now, I did hear allegedly that he was able to eat lunch with his folks today. His mom was there. I didn't see his dad, but I think one sister was present.
He's probably having lunch and dinner with them every night. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, guys. I can't. This was so weird. There's clapping. The judge is crying. Brian's not standing when he's getting read the official punishment during sentencing. Yeah. There's so many things that are off about this.
Mm-hmm. Whether it's a mask or a filter, I think it's more of a filter for the video. And you can tell the difference of the revenge victim impact statements versus the heartfelt ones.
No, it says there's none. That's the first photo. That might be the first photo that looks a little sus that it's come back and says it does not show signs.
And no video filters. That's weird.
It says it's got nothing.
Then why was he glitching?
I don't know. I think that camera is just terrible. That camera is so bad.
Can it detect video or just the picture?
Well, just the picture. I can't ever upload videos. It can't read the videos. Like if you put a URL of a video in there, it's not like it can play at least mine can't.
Okay.
Or this one can't. All right, let's go back to this.
But nobody else's face is glitched, only his.
Don't get me wrong, I totally agree.
Okay.
I agree. I'm just saying it is weird that that's the only photo that, I mean, you've been in here with me doing it. It's the first time I've ever seen it say, no, there's nothing detected.
Someone said shapeshifter.
Don't even get me started.
Oh, shit. Lizards. Oh,
If people thought that we were nuts before, or if I was nuts before,
I didn't say it. Someone else said it.
I know. No, I know. You go there.
Today we are here to prove to the world that you picked the wrong families. The wrong state, the wrong police officers, the wrong community. You tried to break our community apart. You tried to plant fear. You tried to divide us. You failed. Instead, your actions have united everyone in their disgust for you. I just learned from these lead investigators, to their shock, they worked in an investigation and actually worked with Pennsylvania police officers and the federal FBI.
It didn't even make
You
sense.
didn't know that?
You united everyone. Everyone was united after you. None of us are divided. We are united in our disgust and our love for these children. Today, you have no name. Because when this all started, we all came together and we said, let's stop even talking about his name and just use initials. So even the media just calls you BK. That's all you are.
Which is not true, because the media's called him Brian Koberger the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Besides Papa Roger.
Right. No kidding.
They said he wasn't.
Looking back when the police officers knocked on my door, told me what happened to my child, told me what happened to Maddie Mae, I don't think he was even out of the driveway before my kids turned around, looked at me and said, what do we do, Dad? I told him, you get to work.
I see the point maybe he's trying to make about like mentality, but wouldn't you be absolutely sobbing your eyes out, crying, devastated? You're saying before the cops even got out of the driveway, you're telling your daughters, get to work. Am I the only person that's trying to put a human factor into this that's watching it?
When I
Whether it's exaggerated or not for the sense of this court, understand I'm acknowledging that. But it just seems a very weird dynamic to say.
I agree. When I heard him say this, I was like, wait a minute. What is this really about? Because he didn't even mention much about Kaylee. And a victim's impact statement is an impression on the court of the loss of that victim. He focused this all on Idaho, on what they tried to do to divide the community.
And now he's saying you united everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, the only reason I'm rewatching this is because I think there's something to be said about when we all watch this for the first time, you're listening, you're hearing it for the first time. But then when you go back and you listen, right after the fact, that's when you can start to maybe pick up on stuff. So I'm going to try to only pause it for things that are very weird, which is probably going to be a lot. But again, in the hive, let me know if you hear something that I'm not, or Phoenix isn't picking up on.
You get your ass to work. And we started calling, we started texting, we started emailing. And you know what? Within hours, we had your white car on the camera. We knew from the very beginning we had you. Police officers tell us within minutes, they had your DNA, like a calling card. You were that careless.
Wait, what? I didn't even realize that the first time.
They had your DNA.
DNA within minutes?
Then who's the perp?
I'm going to go back and play that.
From the very beginning, we had you. Police officers tell us within minutes, they had your DNA, like a calling card. You were that.
Like a calling card. Dude.
Calling card.
Dude,
Oh,
within minutes, they
God.
knew that he was going to be the scapegoat. They lied.
Yes. They needed one.
And it's a call.
It's a calling card. They
Please
needed
retrieve your
one.
nearest tinfoil hat.
Heck.
Place hat firmly on your head. Prepare yourself.
Dude, come on. Come on.
They had him in his back pocket.
They knew his car. Yeah, like to somebody that just said, sorry, I forgot the name who said that. They went through 22,000 Elantras in a couple hours, and then they had his DNA within minutes, like a calling card.
Ray.
Well,
Ray
how
said
is that? Because I thought that what they found the DNA on also wasn't found on the first pass. What the hell is going on? This is a death penalty case. And we've gotten nothing that, so either we are being lied to in the documents, or this is just a movie.
Okay.
Or we're dealing with something that nobody can. You walk into Idaho, you walk into the portal of hell, and you get amnesia. I have no idea.
They sent an outsider to take these guys down. And it didn't work.
God help us.
Careless. That foolish. That's stupid. Master degree. You're a joke. Complete joke.
Keep an eye on his eyes throughout this, everybody. Okay?
But we took this disaster and we did what we could. We put everything online. We took our kids, we took our images, we took everything that they did, their videos, their photos, the girls' pranks, Ethan singing. We put it out there. We shared it with the world. And the world united.
Wait.
And all they ended up.
They put the videos out there of the pranks and Ethan singing, the Linda Lane footages. Go back.
Or was it the one in the kitchen? Because there was one with his buddy that he was singing with. You remember that one?
I don't know, the way he said it just.
Because I thought that.
Clicked.
Well, yeah, no, maybe you're right. You could be right. I could very well be wrong. I thought that with like the TikToks and all the stuff that came out first.
Oh,
yeah,
I can see that too. Yeah. I was thinking Linda Lane.
Yeah.
Our images, we took everything that they did, their videos, their photos, the girls' pranks, Ethan singing. We put it out there. We shared it with the world. And the world united. And all they ended up, when they talked about this case, is they talked about Kaylee Jade, Maddie Mae, Xana, and Ethan.
I'm so sorry. I hate whenever I'm watching and people keep pausing it, but I have to say this because we blew right by it when it was live. Bethany Funka.
Yeah.
What? by the prosecution team? I just couldn't believe it.
Everything what these people meant to us, a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, we shared that with our community. Then we shared it with our state. We shared it with the country. And eventually we shared it with the world. The world's watching because of the kids, not because of you. Nobody cares about you. You're not worth the time, the effort to be remembered. In time, you will be nothing but two initials forgotten to the wind. No visitors, nothing more than initials on an otherwise unmarked tombstone. From this moment, we've all started.
Is that foreshadowing? I got my tinfoil hat on. Is that foreshadowing? Is Brian Koberger a name that if he gets killed in prison, right? If he gets killed in prison, would they report it on the news and would it be put into an unmarked tombstone so that it's not some sort of tourist thing?
Possible. It wouldn't be so far fetched.
No, I don't think it would be. Shit, they tore a crime scene down.
House down. Yep.
From this moment, we will forget you. We want to all leave in closing. One last thing. You picked the wrong family, and we're laughing at you on your trip to the pen that will be today or tomorrow. I'll close with God bless all the men and women that worked on this case and all the hard work that you guys did. You guys allowed us to grieve and allowed us to get through this. The amount of work that you guys put together and the way that you guys put it together was beautiful. There was hard times to be expected, but thank you all. God bless.
Thank you.
The only thing that is of overly, or the only thing in this courtroom, the camera sucks, the statements are weird, but goddamn, does that mic pick up every lip smack and tongue smack you could have when talking into a mic. I just can't. It's sorry, and I'm sure people in the chat are like, "Thanks for pointing it back out." I just can't stand that noise. This lawyer too, up here, she's, I think,
Smirk.
but like an angry smirk, or just like
She's the federal attorney.
Yeah.
Gonsalves, Kaylee's brother.
Ethan's actually gonna pass. I'm gonna go. Okay.
I wonder why you passed.
Yeah, I don't
Hello.
know.
I'd like to start by thanking the court for allowing me the time and opportunity to speak today. My name is Olivia, and I'm the big sister of Kaylee Gonsalves, and I was blessed to love Madison Mogan as a sister too. I'm not here today to speak in grief. I'm here to speak in truth. Because the truth is, my sister Kaylee and her best friend Maddie were not yours to take. They were not yours to study, to stalk, or to silence.
Glitch.
They were two pieces.
Watch this eye. If you guys can see this, I'll make it bigger. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is like the most obvious thing ever. Watch his eye glitch.
Best friend Maddie were not yours to take.
Right
They
there.
were not yours to study,
Yeah.
to stalk, or to silence. They were two pieces of a whole, the perfect yin and yang. They are everything that you could never be. Loved, accepted, vibrant, accomplished, brave, and powerful. Because the truth about Kaylee and Maddie is they would have been kind to you. If you had approached them in their everyday lives, they would have given you directions, thanked you for the compliment, or awkwardly giggled to make your own words less uncomfortable for you. In a world that rejected you, they would have shown mercy. Because the truth is, I'm angry. Every day I'm angry. I'm left shouting at the inside of my own head everything I wish I could say to you. The truth about me is when I heard the news, I didn't cry. I listened for them. I promised them I would, that I would fight for them, that I would show up no matter what it cost me. I swore I'd never let them feel alone. Because you see, I've always been their heavyweight. I've always been the one to fight the battles they didn't feel ready to fight themselves. All it ever took was a call, and they knew I would handle it for them, no matter the time, no matter the cost. They could wave their white flag because they knew I would never back down, not for them. And not even death could change that. Somewhere along the line, I started to think about what I would say to them if I was given just one last chance. If I could gather enough heartbreak or love or sacrifice or whatever it took to get just one message across, what would I say? Throughout this entire process, I've written my feelings down at every moment, my wishes, my love, my denial, my anger. And as one final act of love, I'd planned to read these thoughts, even jarring and discombobulating and not even making sense. Because for me, that was true love. As bare and as naked as it could be, not laced in pretty words or dressed for the occasion, but written through bleary eyes at 2 a.m. with clenched fists, angry at this reality. My true final act of love was to continue on without them, for them. That dream to read aloud my love to them.
So there was a, I don't know if you guys just saw it in the Hive. Somebody, I put it up on screen. They said it's like BK equals Black Knight operation. Look it up. Never have ever heard that. Okay. And this is what pops up. The symbolism in operations. The Black Knight is also symbolic. It refers to a warrior in the shadows. It's psychological warfare, especially in disruption operations. These metaphors matter. They're used to send a message without saying a word. It's not for the target. It's for the people who recognize the symbol. It says also the covert signature in certain deep state or JSOC, which is Joint Special Operations Command missions. A Black Knight tag might be used to internally designate a mission as part of a deniable or ultra covert chain of command. When they say it's a calling card, it can mean the following. It's their way of letting other agencies know this was us, but you didn't see anything. Or it's a psychological operation, psyop tactic, leave a symbol behind to mess with the enemy or even allied minds. Holy hell. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy.
I think JSOC was a part of this. That's funny that they said that.
Maybe that's how like the ex-military people like Kopaka and, as George Webb thinks, Travis Decker fall into this.
Yep.
Bring meaning through pain was the latest blow in realizing you don't deserve it. And Kaylee and Maddie don't need it. Kaylee and Maddie have always known my love, and they would never ask me to prove it by further victimizing myself to a defendant who has shown no guilt, no remorse.
See, this is crazy. And then we get a comment like that. Now I can't unsee that.
Mm-hmm.
I
He
mean,
was sending the message.
So what is where did that go? Now I have to put this in there. Oops. Is this a calling card or what can you recognize? Why would this be next to Brian Koberger? No, I am talking about the
Black Heart.
I don't know. Emotion, Phoenix. I mean, yours is very logical. Your thoughts on it?
It's not a doodle. It's for a symbol. It's for a purpose.
See, this is where it starts talking about it's actually. So you had said it gives him something comforting to stare at, and this is saying, yeah, mind control programming like MK Ultra. Maybe that's why he's just sitting there like this the whole time.
He's been trained.
It's a trigger.
He's been trained.
It's a trigger to induce calm, fear, confusion.
Yeah, nobody can figure him out.
Well, look at what it just says. It's not a doodle. It's not part of legal paperwork. It's either planted by an insider or printed. Wow.
Ask a Black Heart.
Is it a Black Heart?
I thought it was black.
Yeah, it is.
I think he was really drugged today, but that's my humble opinion.
So it says now we're in full signal mode. I'm going to make this bigger for everybody. What does a black heart mean in occult, intel, and psyop symbolism? The ritual meaning is sacrificed will. Loss of innocence, corruption of the soul, death of empathy. They've been emotionally destroyed, willingly surrendered their soul to darkness. You don't feel anymore, you're owned. Now you got to think, why would this be in front of Brian Koberger, who displayed zero emotion?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's that's the ritual meaning, everybody. The psyop, or I'm sorry, the federal and intel within deep state or black budget circles, colors are codes. Black heart in particular is a handler signal, a dead heart file tag, a cue for emotional detachment protocols used in MK Ultra. Dude, they got to have MK Ultra down so well that they could probably just go and freaking, they could do that to any of their agents on purpose in a certain situation.
Well, especially those with autism.
Well, that's crazy. I'm not going to lie, Hive. This might be an unpopular opinion here. This is like it's kind of like nails scratching a chalkboard re-listening to this. I'm a little bit surprised at how I feel re-listening right now. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not over it, because there's obviously stuff that we missed, but it's just like it's hard to get back through this. I feel like we just, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of people are saying it's purple or it's colored. They make them draw. Okay, I want to get to the questions part.
This was such a severe case of visual snow.
Oh, here it is.
Why did you? I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper?
I'm going to try something here, Hive. Bear with me.
Your Honor, next would be
in detail, needing this much attention, and it was written on the wall, be a rapper. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you
Damn, I'm sorry, Hive.
were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling.
Look at his eyes, everybody.
Oh my God.
Look at his
You know
eyes.
what?
What else you did?
Birdie,
Look at his eyes.
it looks like he's under, hypnotism or something.
This is crazy.
Are you playing it slow?
Yeah, I was trying to.
You don't deserve it. And Kaylee and Maddie
Glitch.
don't need it.
Look at him.
Kaylee and Maddie have always
Glitch.
known my love.
One eye.
And they would never ask me to prove it by further victimizing myself to a defendant who has shown no guilt, no remorse, no apprehension. They would say to me, why
Glitch.
would you give the
Glitch.
satisfaction?
Oh, see, that was huge.
Yep, that was.
They would say to me,
What is
That's
going
crazy.
on? It's got to be a filter, Birdie.
I don't know.
Why would you
Yeah.
give the satisfaction of showing vulnerability now? You promised you would never back down. And for that clarity, I'm thankful. I won't stand here and give you what you want. I won't offer you tears. I won't offer you trembling. Disappointments like you thrive on pain, on fear, and on the illusion of power.
That
And
was deep.
I won't feed your beast.
Have you guys noticed that his camera is the only one shaky?
Yeah. It's in a quadrant.
And I know Devil's Advocates is there. And
Yeah.
honestly, if Devil's Advocates was not there, I would be thinking to myself, that quadrant is on a loop. Like, why is it the only shaking one?
Hmm.
It's just weird. Isn't it a fixed camera? What would be making it shake? No other
The
one's
filter.
shaking.
The filter
Yeah, you're right.
on just him. And there's a certain distance between him and Anne and the other lawyer. And Anne doesn't talk to him or touch him this time.
Instead, I will call you what you are: sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper? Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows?
Oh my God.
Why November 13th? Did you truly think your
That's interesting. Why November 13th? Is that like a blood moon occult reference? What else? Can I ask what other date? Why would that matter? The only other thing that would be is because Kaylee was there.
Mm-hmm.
Any ideas, Hive, on that? This, you're right. Whoever just CJ to War Eagle CJ. It does sound rehearsed. I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable to think that somebody would practice this. You know, you got to know you're going in, the entire world's watching. This was
Rehearsed. Yeah.
I would argue like it's very rehearsed.
Yeah, like she's
Like it's like a
standing
professional rehearsed. Yeah.
like in front of the screen or in front of the mirror every day rehearsing this.
Yeah. And remind me, Phoenix, somebody in the Hive, Patty, I think, sent me
An email.
Yeah, with Kaylee's brother.
Yeah.
Talking.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we want
I
to
haven't
see
seen
that.
that yet. I haven't seen it. Okay.
Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow?
I got
Where is the
reptile
murder
eyes.
weapon? The clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you? What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee? What were Kaylee's last words? Please describe in detail the level of anxiety you must have felt when you heard the Bearcat pull up to your family home on December 30th, 2022. Which do you regret more? Returning to the crime scene 5 hours later, or never, ever going back to Moscow, not even once, after stalking them there for months? If you were really
His eye is
smart,
twitching.
do you think you'd be here right now? What's it like needing this much attention just to feel real? You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you? Do you feel anything at all? Or are you exactly what you always feared? Nothing. If you're so powerful, then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me. But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You didn't create devastation. You revealed it in yourself. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over. That is your sentence. And it was written on the wall long before you ever pled guilty. You didn't win. You just exposed your.
Did anybody else think that was weird too? The written on the wall thing? Is that a phrase of speech? He's blinking, but I could see his eyes. How is that possible? He is blinking right here. Eyes open, eyes closed. Tell me how that is possible, everybody. When she says, take off the mask so we can see who you really are, I'm starting to think, shit, maybe he doesn't have any facial expressions because somebody's wearing a damn mask. And that's why the eyes look weird. I don't know. But again, call me crazy. That's what we do here in the stream. We say whatever comes to your mind. So, Phoenix, can you explain how this man's eyes are closed yet they're open? That is a complete blink. And tell me that you cannot see his eyes. Closed, open, closed, open. How does this happen? Is there anybody in here that is good with cameras? Because when I look it up, the only logical thing that it says it could make sense is that it's a low quality filter, it's an eye enhancing filter, or there's a frame rate mismatch to a shutter roll effect. But that's where it really is like a live photo, or it's just one side of your face usually moves when the other one doesn't. That's not what this is. I have no idea. What do you mean, Chris? Why don't I show the truth? Is that sarcastic? I'm not sure how to take that. Yeah, what does that mean?
Then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me. But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You didn't create devastation. You revealed it in yourself. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over. That is your sentence. And it was written on the wall long before you ever pled guilty. You didn't win. You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else. Constantly scolding, turning your nose up to grammar mistakes, nitpicking and criticizing others. You wanted so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin. Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light. You thought you were exceptional, all because of a grade on a paper. You thought you were elite because your online IQ test from 2010 told you so. All of that effort just to seem important. It's desperate. There is a name for your condition, though. Your inflated ego just didn't allow you to see it. Wannabe. You act like no one could ever understand your mind, but the truth is you're basic. You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. Your patterns are predictable. Your motives are shallow. You are not profound. You're pathetic. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional. Don't ever get it twisted again. No one is scared of you today. No one is intimidated by you. No one is impressed by you. No one thinks that you are important. You orchestrated this like you thought you were God. Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps. You spent months preparing, and still all it took was my sister in a sheath. You work so hard to seem dangerous, but real control doesn't have to prove itself. The truth is, the scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your fucking ass. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't get it. And then the claps. I don't get it. Now, Phoenix, what's your take on that? You're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. I was talking away.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Pathetic. That's
Mhm.
my only word that I could use for that woman is pathetic.
I just got a bunch of emails too, Hive. So the people that said they sent me messages, I have my email pulled up. So thank you for that.
That was disrespectful. I've never heard, and I've been in court in criminal cases. I have never heard anyone being this disrespectful. They didn't focus it on their loved ones, like I said, in a victim's impact statement. That statement should be impacting the judge to give him the harshest penalties.
And the claps.
Dieter.
I mean, you can't even I've watched cases where you'll hear, somebody make a little whisper and it's order. Did anybody hear one order today?
Mm-mm.
I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So who talks next? Chrissy?
That's the only time he turns away. That is weird.
Next is Christy Gonsalves, Kaylee Gonsalves' mother.
Is it me, or does it look like he's being starved?
He doesn't look like the same dude from a couple weeks ago,
Weeks
anyway,
ago.
or whatever it was. Yeah, that would have been on what this? That was
The second.
Yeah, so the first
Where's
week.
his can?
Maybe they realized that people were onto it. They're like, Brian, we're going to starve you, and you're sitting in a cell. We have to sell this.
Maybe.
Thank you, Your Honor. I never imagined having to speak to someone so devoid of humanity. For a long time, I didn't think I'd find the words low enough to meet you where you are. But now I realize this isn't about you. It's about what you've done to me, and I need you to hear it. When you murdered my daughter, Kaylee J. Gonsalves, you didn't just take her life. You shattered others. You attacked what you could never be. And in doing so, you left a trail of devastation far beyond that house. You stole my peace. You've altered my every waking moment, every sleepless night, the way I view the world, people, safety, trust. It's all been changed by your cruelty. I no longer recognize parts of myself. Joy is harder to find. Laughter feels foreign. The world moves forward, but I'm suspended in a place of sorrow and rage. You've taken from me something that can never be restored. The grief sits with me every day, some days quietly, and other days so loud it drowns out everything else. The emotional toll you've inflicted on me is immeasurable. I live with a constant ache, with birthdays that are now memorials, with holidays that feel hollow, with empty chairs that scream louder than words ever could. I am forever changed. But for you, as a person working on a PhD in criminal justice, you really didn't think this one through. You're not that good. In fact, you're not that good at anything. You couldn't secure a job. You couldn't get along with others. You couldn't even get a female to look in your direction, all because you are pathetic.
So, guys, in the background, I've been doing something here. This is pretty mind-blowing. Somebody emailed me a screenshot, and it says Papa Rogers. And it's just a screenshot. Okay. I put this in there, and I'm just like, what hidden code? You guys know what it is, how I always do it. Okay, so it scrolls through. It talks about, here's what it says. It says time of death is very simple. And when the medical reporting is posted soon, I'm told you will see that Ethan has lost mortem wounds by hours. And his exact location is where they said. Seems he was. That's all it says. Okay, this is trippy. So it goes through and it's trying different things, grammar, pattern glitches, looking for repeated themes or clues, the final interpretation. And then I said, figure that out. You can do better. Imagine someone's life's on the line. And it said, all right, listen up. If someone's life depends on decoding the message, yada, yada, yada. It says it's going to focus on this phrase. And I'm walking you guys through this quick because I want to get to what it says that this actually means. So it's going to focus on the phrase. It says, does this sound like reverse writing? Like if you say it out loud, Ethan has lost mortem wounds by hours. Strange. Lost mortem wounds could mean no longer had wounds at time of discovery or wounds came after death.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's wild. That's wild. Okay. Now now it goes and tries a hidden cipher. The first letters of each word in a segment.
That's
then
the
it
theory.
plugs the entire original sentence into and extracts every seventh letter. It's a basic steganographic technique. It says, let me manually count and pull. Okay. So it goes through it. Now it says the first hidden character is an F. I have no idea what it's doing, but it's doing the seventh letter, all this stuff next to the 14th T. It keeps it going. So now it gets extra letters to put in there. It says, look at this sentence again. You will see that Ethan has lost mortem wounds by hours. If we rearrange it, Ethan has lost wounds by hours. Okay, but mortem again. Is it a name? Mortem, medram. Okay, try the Rot 13 cipher on mortem. Anyways, this is what it just fucking came up with. The official timeline is a lie. Ethan's wounds occurred after the reported time of death. Someone altered the scene. Mortem is a signal. I know what happened. Wait for the medical report to blow the cover. What?
That it was an overdose.
Oh, you were muted, Phoenix.
Oh, crap. The hidden theory is there was an overdose, and they had to hide the overdose.
I don't even know what to say. That's why I stopped the video. I'm doing this. I'm just kind of typing in BSing with it. I'm like, wait, holy shit.
And why? Because of the drug pipeline in the air. Remember, it doesn't exist.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. That I think the OD thing is a very early on theory.
Unconscious.
And so now check this out. Would you have ever read this? Like, what I find mind blowing is when you see, I'll put it on the screen. When you see this, okay, and then I go back up and I read the Papa Rogers one. Time of death is very simple, and when the medical reporting is posted, soon, I'm told, you will see that Ethan has lost mortem wounds by hours, and his exact location is where they said. Seems he was. It's written weird.
Maybe it's supposed to be post-mortem.
Well, yeah, post-mortem. But still, you know, even if I said that, time of death is very simple, and when the medical reporting is posted, soon, I'm told, you will see that Ethan has post-mortem wounds by hours, and his exact location is where they said. Seems he was. How has nobody put that together? I mean, the official timeline, like essentially what it's saying is the official timeline's a lie. Ethan's wounds occurred after the reported time of death. Someone altered the scene. Mortem is a signal. I know what happened. Wait for the medical report to blow the cover.
Correct.
I'm mind blown right now.
That was the original theory that I floated around, is there was an OD. Why would you call the 911 for an unconscious person? If there was no drugs related, they don't want to admit there's a problem in the area with the university, with the town.
So here's the full thing that the person sent me.
Nothing to see. Move along. Oh, have we heard that before?
That's a different person. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying we've heard that all along.
But I don't know who sent me. I don't know where they got this screenshot from.
They covered up. It's a cover up. I've been saying cover up.
So I just think that this is crazy. And so here it says how it got to the hidden message. It identified mortem as the cipher clue. It removed mortem to test the grammar. It pulled literal claims. It rebuilt the subtextual message. And it applied a psychological lens. Here's where it gets crazy. This is what I'm excited for. Hi, blue-eyed candy. She says, I'm late. Lana, Truth and Transparency was reading through case reporting. One reporting indicated rolled $2 bill and blue powder substance on second floor, bedroom number 1.
Yep. Go through those reports.
Thank you for sharing that, blue-eyed candy. This case is just getting started, Hive. That's what I was saying. We have to put the emotions to the side of being like we can't, as Sherlock Holmes had a comment about it, but it's like, don't let them get your goat here. We have to work smarter. I don't know about you guys. We can really do something. We can really make a difference. We might speculate, look through the lenses, but I'm saying we find a lot of shit doing that method. How can we work smarter? Well, maybe crushed up Adderall. I don't know. Adderall's blue or orange. That's what my head went to. Okay, so this is crazy. I just want to finish this quick. So
wait a minute.
Yep.
Papa Rogers.
That's what I'm going to go into.
Papa Rogers is one of the people who knew what happened.
Yes, 100%. I don't think that Papa Rogers was just some random person.
They were there.
So maybe shit, but this is what's crazy. This will go along with it. So it talks about how it just got there. It says, if you're ready, I can dig into the identity of digital fingerprint or I can dig into the identity or digital fingerprint of the user behind the quote unquote Papa Rogers handle. It might go even deeper. And I said, yes. So it says the username started showing up on crime forums, notably Facebook groups, Reddit, 4chan, just days after the murders. The poster was claiming to know details not yet released publicly, pushing ideas about Ethan's death that didn't line up with the official narrative, asking highly specific forensic questions that seemed a little too informed. It's either somebody that was there or it's the feds floating out like they're fishing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe. Here's the kicker. He posted before the affidavit dropped, but made accurate predictions about the case. Okay, so there's really only two options here, Phoenix.
Ellie.
That person was
or
there.
witness. Mhm.
Yeah. Timeline. Okay. And it is, I mean, but again, it makes me think BK's arrested, Papa Rogers disappears. That's almost too easy of a setup to see through the smoke and mirrors.
That would
You're
be
gonna
Ellie.
another narrative point, right? Oh, it's Papa Rogers. Brian Koberger's Papa Rogers. He had insider knowledge. It had to be him. If you think about it, think about how much they put Papa Rogers on TV and the news.
Mm-hmm. That was the narrative.
So people began to speculate, was Papa Rogers actually Brian Koberger himself? It says there's a same linguistic style as Koberger's known posts on Reddit. However, let me just throw this out there. I could go and I could download a PDF of James Patterson's book, and I could say, I want you to write a story about me riding my bike with my wife to the Quick Trip to get an energy drink in James Patterson's tone. Here's an example. And it would do it. It's, you know what I'm saying? I don't think matching it linguistically is as hard as people might think.
Right.
Papa Rogers made claims only the killer would know. Post stops the moment BK was arrested. The name Papa Rogers, is there a hidden meaning? Rogers, possible alias tied to education. Roger. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. And you are welcome. And thank you, Hive, for being so engaging in the chat and helping me along with the awesome comments and helping me sum up what I'm trying to say at times. Rogers is a possible alias tied to education. Roger equals the name from the Isla Vista killer, Elliot Roger. Papa, control figure, father identity, psychopathic projection. This could be a taunt. It could be a signature. CIA style psych profile. Who would do this? Narcissist, obsession with public attention, craves narrative control, would insert himself into the investigation with subtle, brilliantly masked way. Now it's saying it fits Koberger's known profile. If the Papa Rogers Facebook account had no friends, profile created days after the murder, used a stock image as the profile pic, which was reverse searched. The IP is unknown, so it likely used a VPN. May have posted from university Wi-Fi or a local hotspot. That's speculation.
And it said it was a she.
Wow. Papa Rogers is either the killer himself, a handler, or an insider, or somebody meant to cause misdirection.
I think it's a witness.
Or
the actual killer.
If it wasn't.
What? Oh, the question was asked today, and the FBI guy said they went deep in trying to find out what this was, who this was, and it was not BK.
I'm sure it was just some random lady in Florida on Facebook, right? Or whatever that whole ordeal was. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it said some lady in Florida.
Sherlock thinks Papa Rogers was Brett Payne or Officer Tiago. If Papa Rogers wasn't Koberger, they knew obviously everything inside. It's not your average Reddit LARPer. That's someone close to the case, somebody with inside access, or someone in the law enforcement academic pipeline. I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here. Steve G had his DNA within minutes and had the white Elantra within hours. Is it Steve G?
Papa, Dad, Father, Rogers. Possible.
And so they said it's a female. What's up, Open Mind Perspectives?
It could be Olivia. But how would she know some of this?
Well, they said it again. Was Steve telling the truth? You know? I'm just trying to look through this.
Oh, yeah. And there was a backpack found in the backyard by the police.
Is that what they were in the woods for, or where was it found?
Yeah, it was in one of the supplemental reports I just read before I jumped on here. So much information in these reports. Conflicting.
Oh my God.
The masks were medical masks.
Hang on. This is crazy. Hive.
What does it say?
I just said, what if it's Steve G? Shit, as a joke. The evidence suggests it could be Steve G. Well, I said, could it be? And they go, well, there's a wording match. They both use phrases like, you'll see when the report comes out.
Mm.
That's weird. That is weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Olivia's Papa Rogers. You know, I'm not saying it's Steve for sure, but that is weird. They both do talk like that. I don't know if Olivia talks like that. I've really only ever seen that interview with Enton as far as long form conversation with Olivia. Both reference. Go ahead.
She's in the front one with Steve G and Christy, and between them, when it first came out, she was opening the statements in that interview.
So this makes sense. Steve has said Kaylee's injuries were more severe. Papa Roger says Ethan had different mortem wounds. What would the motivation be? Well, if Steve felt the police were lying or covering things up, or Olivia, and couldn't say everything publicly, he may have created a sock puppet account to leak truths or provoke pressure on investigators. The aggression toward the official narrative. They both undermine the official timeline. Both hinted at additional suspects.
Ask if it's Olivia.
So it says unlikely. The alignment of facts is too precise to ignore, but the tone, execution, and strategy of Papa's post don't feel like a grieving father to speak the truth. So it says Steve Gonzalez might be the source, but not the hand typing. Holy hell. Holy hell. Open mind perspectives. And Chris Tat, what did you just say? Anon CNI channel has a video explaining Ethan's death was first after fight with David's. Death confirmed. See, what the hell happened that night?
There was a fight. I told you.
No, Phoenix. Yes, I'm saying in general. I was just generalizing. I know.
They drugged him. They OD'd him. He was throwing up. They tried to cover it up.
I mean, if there was bad drugs on campus, and that's, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's why the frat boys are in the band field. They're all going over there because they're like, oh, fuck. They got bad drugs. Is it true?
Wasn't it in the Amazon docuseries? He OD'd on his own bad shit.
Well, the Fenty. Exactly, Miss Q. Okay, so I don't know if Open Mind is still in here, but she had said Olivia, so I just said, could it have been Olivia, Kaylee's older sister? It says, all right, now you're in the strike zone. You just named someone very specific, very close to the case, very intelligent. Olivia Gonzalez, Kaylee's older sister. So highly educated, articulate, extremely detail-oriented, immediately involved in the investigation, spoke for the family, conducted her own timeline analysis, was critical of law enforcement, has reportedly said, I know things I can't say publicly. If anyone had both the intel and technical ability to operate an account like Papa Rogers, it would have been Olivia. She had direct access to the case file through family channels, autopsy, photos, forensic timelines, briefings. Papa Rogers dropped specifics that weren't public, wound severity, time of death inconsistencies, even room layout. Olivia could have easily known that. I sent you that video on email Chris is talking about. Okay. I will. Is that? I'll look for it after I read this. Thank you, Don. And thank you, Chris. I just want to go down to this.
What percentage?
It says very plausible.
Unless she
And
admitted to it.
Well, it's more likely she fed someone information and they ran the operation for her. She's the intel source, not the typist. She wanted the truth out, protected her family. It says, do you want to do a linguistic cross check? I'll say yes. And then I'm going to look at that email. Okay, Dawn. Oh, where it all went wrong, where it all went bad, started with Ethan. I've seen parts of this.
Yeah. And Xana tried to stop him, and it was already a mess.
Yeah.
And that's where Kaylee screams, "You didn't have to kill him."
I'm just going to scroll down and see what it says. It just says, what was the second weapon on Kaylee? A lot of people have argued that it's a beanbag gun or the butt of a handgun. You do hear a gun rack. There's no doubt about that. You can even hear kind of like the metal echo sound that a gun racks if you've ever gone to an indoor range.
Wild.
Whoa, what?
Yep. Accidentally shot Xana. I had a feeling. Thank you for confirming that. What I got in the information I got, my source is pretty accurate.
I want to have a source. I don't have any sources. I just have to look at shit and think.
Well, I mean, I had to check out a couple of things. I don't believe everyone. You know how I vet. And it was clearly an overdose. And they had to cover it up.
Ooh.
Bethany heard it too.
Yeah, that could have been it.
Yep,
I
she
wonder.
did.
Well, no, I wonder if Xana, Maddie, Kaylee simply witnessed Ethan's murder, and that's why they had to go too. Why DM and BF lived? They weren't there for Ethan.
Nope.
I mean, is there a possible? No, I'm not even gonna say it. It's a stupid comment.
Bethany heard Dylan. Oh, go ahead.
No, go for it. I'm just gonna post this comment. Okay, what were you gonna say, Phoenix?
The allegedly in the police reports, Dylan and Bethany tried to give two different statements. And the medical masks they found outside with gloves were masks that we wore during COVID. There was no freaking ski mask. It was a medical mask. So all this scary fear woo-woo of masks with knives and crap like that, they were medical grade masks.
What the? Okay, who's doing this? Who's doing this? Ethan was unalived at 2:37.
He OD'd, and allegedly they made it look like a stabbing crime scene.
All we need is Ann Taylor to come back in here. Who else
Detective
did we have?
Murray.
Yeah,
Brett
and
Payne.
we had Brett Payne. Let's get the whole squad in here. Thanks for making an appearance, Olivia. Just kidding. All right. So it just said it's trying. All right, I'm back.
Funny how we talk about people and they appear.
Yeah, it is weird. What was I just looking at? Oh yeah, here.
You were looking at to see if it was Olivia.
Yeah. Now it's gonna try to track it. I'll show this video. It's about 54 minutes. I've watched a decent amount of this.
Why did they set Brian up? You froze, Birdie.
Is it a coincidence that happens?
No, And I didn't catch the IP address on that last comment, so crap.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, so anyways, what was I just gonna say? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Fuck, I forgot. Dang.
Where it all went
Think.
wrong.
Oh no, I was talking about this.
Where it all
So
went wrong.
yeah, this is a good video. Anon C and I made it. I've watched the majority of it. I will go back and I will watch this tonight. Thank you, Dawn and Chris, for bringing that back up. This is a really good point. We have to remember. Okay, let's do a little exercise. If we were all law enforcement right now, and we had to figure out a way to cover up something that went terribly wrong, whether it was an accidental discharge on a victim, if there was drugs, maybe it's tied to a confidential informant on an ongoing investigation, whatever it is. Let's be realistic. The only reason why all of this is going to cross and mismatch and not make sense is because it's the simplest way to tie it together. And there is a stretch involved in having the simplest, most digestible story to put out. I don't think that that's very far-fetched to think, Phoenix, that if you and I had to come up with something that we wouldn't think like, well, that would mean he'd have to kill 4 people in 7 minutes. It's like,
no.
He's a
Occam's
ninja.
razor.
Yeah.
With 2 weapons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a ninja. He went in there and, but there's no blood. There's nothing. It's okay. It'll be a mystery, right? Like, well, what are we going to do about the crime scene? We'll tear it down. We'll say it's going to be a memorial. Well, how are we going to, what if we don't know who did it? How about that quiet Koberger kid that applied for the internship?
Got to keep it real quiet on the down low.
How do we get his DNA? Maybe we'll tell him that, okay, this is your chance to work with us. And we don't have his prints. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We need to go and look up on like 23andMe. Did anybody in the Koberger family ever submit DNA? Did anybody spit into a tube and want to see, like I say, if they're part Viking? We look at it. It's like, hang on. Oh shit. His father did. Then they reverse engineered the DNA to make it look like it was a familial hit to the father. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just spitballing.
But remember, if he was working with WSU and Chief Jenks,
and there's also funding. So shit.
They would have his DNA. They would go and do a trash pull right at his apartments. Think about it.
What if they just pulled Brian Koberger's freaking Q-tip and kept it in a plastic bag, went out to arrest him in Pennsylvania? Is there any evidence of them combing through and finding a Q-tip in a freaking trash can?
I wouldn't doubt it. They knew it within minutes. They had his DNA in minutes.
Within minutes.
What did Papa Roger just say?
Where is it?
Ethan was what?
I don't even see it.
Ethan, you will see in all the facts. He was the first to be unalive by hours. That's what's crazy. So their timeline is not correct. We knew the timeline was never correct.
All right,
I called it out.
Yeah, Papa Rogers, state your name and rank.
Yeah, right.
What's your badge number? If you're a cop, you have to tell me.
Oh no, they have immunity. They can lie.
I know.
Obviously. And the whole, how much work it would take to cover something like this up?
A lot.
Yeah. A lot of people in on this all the way to the governor.
Oh yeah.
Bring Papa Rogers up.
Yeah, hang on. This is crazy. Hold on. So it just finished doing this and it goes through.
Nope.
It's not Brian Koberger. It's not really Olivia. It's not Steve. This is just kind of running in circles at this point.
Papa's here. Why not just tell us who you are?
Oh, man. Well, okay. So here's what I'm going to do, Hive. What I'm going to do for the stream tomorrow is I'm going to take some time and I'm going to put together some clips of the interview of Kaylee's brother, the press conference, and then
Okay.
that way we can just go slide to slide and discuss that certain clip. So I don't got to click around a bunch of times. Okay.
And I'm going to finish reading all 700 pages of these
Yes.
supplements.
And Dawn, I have not been to my P.O. box. Thank you for sending me James Patterson's book. I have to go pick it up. I'm going to read that, and I'm going to kind of steal Truth and Transparency's idea where she did like a list of 25 things. I'm going to do a similar thing. I don't think I'll do 25. Maybe I'll just do like my top 10 things from the book that are kind of odd. I think that was a good idea. It was fun when she did that. And then I just want to share a story too, real quick. I said this in the Discord, but this was really awesome. And I don't know if this person's in here, but this made Mrs. Birdie and I's night getting this. So somebody wrote me an email and they said, "Hey, Birdie, my name is, and I'm helping my 6-year-old son reach out to you. His dad's a huge fan of yours, and now he wants to send you a little care package to say thank you in his own way. He made a few colorful bracelets by hand just for you, picked out the colors himself and everything. Would you be open to sharing your P.O. box or mailing address where we could send it? He's really proud of it and would be over the moon knowing you received them." So I think that's so cool. And I said, obviously, I said, absolutely. That's awesome. And I tried to make it funny where I wrote a little message to this 6-year-old. And I was saying, like, thanks so much for making me the bracelets. Now, listen, you may only be 6, but you've already done something most people twice your age are too scared to do. You created something and you sent it out into the world. That's how legends are made. And I said, I'll let you in on a secret. You're one of the lucky ones. You've got parents who aren't NPCs. Ask your dad what that means. He'll laugh.
You have such a way with words, Birdie.
Yeah.
I mean, even the email that you copied me on that we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just have a way with words, and I sure appreciate you guys. I appreciate the Hive, everything that you've done in the last couple of months, and it's just been wild.
It has been. It's been incredible. I will be back on tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. As a quick announcement for Friday, it's me and Mrs. Birdie's wedding anniversary. So I'm taking her down. I'm taking her out on a night downtown to a dinner. So I will put out one of those like premiere videos Friday. So it won't be on at 7, but the video will still go on at 7. Just wanted to give you guys all a heads up on that. Saturday, normal schedule. Sunday, I cannot wait for that roundtable. I'm telling you, we got a great group again, and I'm very excited for it. So Hive, take a breath, relax. Remember that this case is just getting started. There's going to be a lot of evidence that's going to come out. It's going to be unsealed. People are going to talk. We will get to the bottom of this. And what's more important is that we start to ask questions in a smarter way. Make this make sense. Questions that are worded in a way where you don't have to have followed it as deeply as we have. I think that's going to be an effective strategy. Because this case, while yes, it's important, if Brian really didn't do this, which I don't believe that he did, at least not by himself, we all probably feel similar. What's really important is that we stop getting got by the news. We got to stop getting hoodwinked. We got to stop falling for this sensationalized headline drama.
Yep. Stop
That's
getting
the
got.
bigger thing. Yeah, stop getting got. So, Hive, thank you all to everybody that tuned in this evening. Thank you to everybody who was here for the live stream of the sentencing. I will see you all tomorrow. Cheers,
Take
everybody.
care, Birdie. Have a good
take care,
night.
fam.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Take care, everybody.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.